Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Welcome to Believe You Me.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. I figure we're just going to do it. Jump in. That's when I get the best Michael Bisping. When you're not overthinking it. When I push you a little bit, your back's against the wall.
Well, I will be pushing you because I'm very squeezed in. We are recording this in my house. This is my kitchen behind me. We had to arrange a few things to get the shot just right, but I'm a little claustrophobic here, Lewis. I don't know about you, but... we started because I see you fiddling with knobs.
I'm just making sure.
Should we restart? Let's stop and start again.
No, this is good. Keep on talking.
All right. Okay. Well, it is Easter, everybody. Not that really means anything to me, to be honest. I have had many texts this morning from people saying Happy Easter, and I appreciate that. That's very, very kind.
You were raised Catholic. Did they in England? What do they do for Easter? What is it? What's the big tradition?
Well, I'll tell you what they do. What they do in England, they do a damn sight better job of Easter eggs. I'll tell you, Easter eggs here in America suck, okay? They're terrible. In England, all that, like Cadbury's and the big chocolate manufacturers, by the way, English chocolate is just way better than American chocolate. Yeah. Can we just get that out the way right now?
Sure, I'll give it to you. That's the one thing that you guys have. You have delicious chocolate.
You're not a chocolate connoisseur, I can tell.
No, of course.
If you were, you'd be like, yes, Michael, it's true. But you guys, what do you have? You have Hershey's, and that's about it. And you have these terrible adaptation of Easter eggs, okay? And they suck. In England, one of the highlights as a child is getting good Easter eggs. All the good chocolate bars, they all do an Easter egg version. And it's good. I like it.
Okay, I get it. But they have that too. Now, see, we live in...
No, they don't.
You live in Orange County. We're right now in the sticks. This is not a city. This is not where there's any culture. You're dealing with limitations. I live in New York City. Do you have any fucking idea the amount of Easter eggs? You know what type of candy I can get at my fingertips? And literally anything you get. This is the beautiful part about New York City and LA for to a certain degree. Most big cities to a certain degree. You go to London, I'm sure it's the same. Anything that you fucking like from at home, anywhere you're at, like the best lobster roll, the best burger, the best pizza, whatever it is. What happens is in a city...
I live in New York City, so you don't know. You have no idea what you're talking about, Michael Bisping. You're a little country bumpkin boy from the north of England, and now you live in Orange County. I'm from the big city, the big smoke, the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Lewis, trust me. The Easter eggs in America suck balls, and that's a fact. Okay, just accept that. It's okay.
If I wanted to, in any, because New York's not even that big. It's 13 miles long, like 4 miles wide.
Massively overpopulated.
Within a 15-minute walk.
Infested with rats. Homeless problem.
Those are Puerto Ricans.
Very cold.
You're a piece of shit. That was racist, Michael Bisping. I'm sorry. He went to the Bronx once. No. Within a 15-minute walk, I can find the best version of literally any type of food, any type of thing you could ask for. That's the beautiful part about New York City. Within a 15-minute walk.
That is probably correct.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, good Easter eggs don't exist in America. Okay, so just accept that. But listen,
what did you do for your kids for Easter?
Nothing. We didn't even get an Easter egg because you can't get them. I'm not going to give them a subpar product. I'm not going to give them these candy that you talk about, right? We didn't get them. You know why? Why? We're not religious people.
Whoa,
just Jesus Christ, Lewis. He's doing his homework last minute. He's watching the fights that he never watched yesterday.
I was traveling yesterday.
We don't really need to talk about it anyway because it was a small card in Russia.
He literally wouldn't let me watch the fights. I was like, dude, I should watch the fights possibly. You're like, nah, don't even.
Well, you didn't miss much. I'll do it. I watched it. I did the homework necessary for a good, successful episode of Believe You Me.
Of course.
What did I do? Didn't do much for Easter. In fact, we didn't do anything. The only thing we have resembling Easter is that nice bouquet in the background. Our next door neighbor, Gemma and Roland, the nicest people on earth, they brought that round for us this morning.
Oh, that's
We're
nice.
not religious. Our children aren't baptized.
Really?
No.
Not even baptized?
Not even baptized, which, see, in England, and I said this recently, well, when I used to work at Fox Sports, I said this to the people at Fox Sports. I said, nobody I know in England goes to church. I don't know a single person that goes to church.
Yeah.
My mom, every blue moon, and she's hardcore, Even at Christmas Eve, she used to go to Christmas Eve, midnight mass, but she doesn't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
But my generation, people that I know, my friends, I don't know a single person that goes to church. But people still get them christened. They still get married in churches.
Yeah.
They still celebrate Easter. And I'm all about that. I'm like, because it's a good time. And when we had the kids, we were going to get a christening because... the christening's nice. It's a nice celebration of the child's life. Get all the family together. It's nice to celebrate the child coming into the world.
What is even a christening? I don't even understand what it is. I was christened or baptized. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
I was baptized when I was a kid.
Oh, no. Baptized and christening are two different... Oh, no. You get baptized at the christening.
What?
The baby gets baptized at the christening.
I don't know. Don't they christen? What do they do?
Baptism.
They break a bottle over the kid's head. Is that what it is? Is that how you christen something?
Anyway, listen. The point I was going to say at a christening, it's to welcome them into God's family, if you will, into the Roman Catholic or Christian family.
It's a little weird.
But we're
not.
Weird.
The whole idea of giving your child away to God when they're that young.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't believe that. And we were going to have a christening, but Becky was like, Michael, we're not religious, so we'd just be hypocrites. And I'm like, yeah, but still.
But you want to do it for the party, like Christmas.
Everyone gets
the
together,
presents.
we'll have some drinks, we'll have a little buffet, we get to show off a bit, everyone dresses nice, everyone gets together, family all comes up from different parts of the country. It's nice.
Yeah.
She's like, but we're not religious, Michael. It's hypocritical. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So if our children die and don't go to heaven, then it's Rebecca's fault.
So I'll
it's
admit that
definitely
right now.
Rebecca's fault.
Yeah, I think that that is one of the benefits of having a child. And they don't talk about this, but we're pretty fucking real on this show, so we'll talk about it. A lot of gifts, a lot of opportunities to get gifts. You first have the kid, you have a baby shower, then the kid's born. Then obviously, there's things like the baptism, and then the communion.
Yes.
So there's these opportunities in life to get lots of gifts for having this child, which is great. I'm with you, man. I'm totally about it.
Yeah, but the baby shower's one as well. My good buddy Jason Falovich from Playline, they had a baby shower recently, which he invited me to and expected me to travel all the way up to Canada for. I'm like, and then my sister, when I was in England recently, they had a baby shower and we had to be there. Now, of course, we were in the country, so we went to that. But I'm not going to make a special trip. I'm not going to fly to Canada for a fucking baby shower.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you send something?
No.
You scumbag.
Did they send anything for my three children?
You didn't even know them when you.
I didn't know him then. But that's besides the point.
That's a smart move, though. So what you should do, if you're going to have a baby shower, is just invite all of your friends that are successful and have money.
Yeah.
And the ones that are good people actually just send you a little card with $100 in it or whatever.
Listen, I'll be there for the kid when he grows up and he needs some advice. I'll be there. That's what really counts. Do you want some crappy baby clothes, a little baby grow, whatever? You probably got hundreds of them.
Yeah,
that's what people send straight away, some little baby clothes. It's not important. But we're going off topic. So, yeah, Easter, we don't celebrate it, and I know the world is, and that's great. But yeah, I mean, it's just another day to me. It's just another Sunday. I mean,
it is the least fun of the Christian holidays.
I do realize and the significance of it for Catholic and Christian people, and I do pay its respect for that.
Which
you know
one
what
is
I mean?
it? Is it the one that Jesus rose from the dead? No, yeah, that's today.
Yeah, he rose from the dead today.
Yeah.
Friday, he was crucified.
Yeah. With the popularity of The
Saturday,
Walking Dead.
he just chilled.
I'd be going for that angle with the young people. With the popularity of The Walking Dead, I would just angle this as Zombie Jesus Day. The Catholic Church to just do a rebranding, and they might be able to really take advantage of these younger millennial types. I think the reason people get married still in churches and do all that stuff, it's just to appease the older people.
Well, no, and it's nice. I mean, getting married in a church is a beautiful thing.
You got married in a church?
No, we didn't. No, we got married.
How do you know?
No, because I've been to weddings in churches. It's nice. It looks official. It looks legit.
What'd you get married in?
I got married. It's called Rancho Los Llamas, and if you Google it, you'll see there's lions and tigers and zebras and parrots. It's a beautiful place. It's not as tacky as it sounds. It's not tacky in the slightest. It's actually really, really beautiful.
There we go. Rancho Los Llamas.
Los Lomas.
Los Lomas.
It's a beautiful place, but we're not religious. So,
there we go. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a legit, beautiful, scenic backdrop. And when the guests get bored of us and listening to us go on and bore them to death, you can take a little walk around because the guys rescue exotic animals from Africa. So there's lions, tigers, all that type of stuff. But yeah, we didn't get married in a church, but people want to get married in a church because it's nice, it's perfect, it looks like the fairy tale. You can imagine that you're the princess or the queen of England, you know what I mean? Have all your flowers and walk up in the veil and everything, and the priest is waiting for you at the top and all that, like you see in a movie. They don't give a damn in this day and age that there's a religious significance attached to it. In America, maybe I'll be honest, I'm shocked at the amount of religious people in America. I really am. And I think maybe it's a great thing, and that's very nice, and more power to you.
Why do you think there's a lot of religious people? I don't think there's that many.
Because everybody's fucking religious.
No.
Everybody. Oh my God. Are you serious?
Who's religious?
So many people
I don't know
go to the
anybody who's
Instagram,
religious.
God first. God first. And guys, let's just say a prayer. The amount of times I've been in training rooms or practicing or jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, guys, can we just say a prayer?
Yeah.
At the Ultimate Fighter, look, guys, let's gather around. Let's say a prayer.
Like if God, by the way, if God gave fuck, like,
but they all close their eyes and they all huddle around and they're holding hands and they're praying. And I'm like this. I'm like, I open one eye on the sly and I'm looking. I'm thinking, are they fucking serious? Is somebody having a laugh at me here? Are they like, let's see if Michael goes along with it? But no, they're legit praying. Which again, that's beautiful. But the climate in England is not the same. People do not pray like that.
If there is a God, he doesn't care about MMA fighters. I got to be honest with you. When he's going through his list of priorities, he's not going like, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to assist the guys in the Ultimate Fighter season 16. He's got other things going on in his life. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I was just going to try and find it, but I said somebody posted it on Instagram recently, and it was a very, very good quote. When I fought Luke Rockhold, we never miss a chance on this show to talk about this.
Lovely.
But I said, because everyone was like, oh yeah, you're a 10-1 underdog, you're going to get destroyed of Luke. And I said, listen, if people can believe that there's a God out there, and if people can believe, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to religious people, if people believe that they can get on their knees and pray to God, and God's going to hear that, and he's going to listen, and he's going to make the world better for you. If you can believe that, then you can believe that I'm going to knock out Luke Rockhold in 2 weeks' time.
Fuck
okay?
yeah.
You know, and that's my point. What, is it that outlandish?
Yeah.
You actually believe that getting on your knees
Wait,
and
that was before the second fight, right?
Yeah, before the second
thank
fight.
God.
Yeah,
Imagine it was before the first fight, but you really put your foot in your mouth, didn't you?
No, I know. Just like the Vitor. Just like the Vitor Belfort line. Hey, Vitor, there is no Jesus.
Oh, really now? Isn't there?
And then I lose an eyeball.
I have a question. Do you think when you leaned into Vitor Belfort and whispered to him that there is no Jesus?
Why are you going to make it sound so sexual?
It was very sexy. When I
leaned in.
When you quietly whispered into his ear.
Hey, Vitor.
Do you think that was what put him over the edge and gave him the motivation to beat you? That was the moment where if you'd not done that, you might have won that fight? Do you ever think about that?
No, I don't. But sometimes, because I always used to say, listen, regardless of how much you talk shit in a fight, they're still going to fight as hard as they're going to fight.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. when I fought Anderson Silva, I talked a lot of shit, and he really showed up in that fight, and he came and he tried to kill me. And in his fights since, he's just coasted and not done much. I'm like, maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. So any future fighters out there, just know, maybe if you talk shit, you might have to pay the price a little bit.
I mean, you would assume it would make a difference. We talked on the last show about what were we talking about? Just like the little differences that psychologically things that will make. You know what I'm saying? Just like things will happen, whatever it is. And if you have guys that are that closely matched, that little psychological edge could be enough to push somebody over the edge.
Yeah, but then sometimes if they're pushed over the edge and they're angry and all that type of stuff, they don't fight to the best of their ability. So that's also the flip side to it. But anyway, let's not talk, make this talking about me and Anderson Silva and whatnot.
But what about, all right, even forget
last week, it was very blasphemous. We were talking about, Notre Dame and the devastating news what happened there.
I feel like I really won that debate.
Well, you didn't. You didn't really win the debate. And it is shocking that now $1 billion has been raised.
$1 billion?
$1 billion has been raised now from rich people to help rebuild
The more I
Notre
think about
Dame.
it, the more angrier I get.
No, it pisses me off as well because you see all the starving children in Africa and homeless all over the world. But they can raise $1 billion to fix a church, which, as I said last week, great. It should be rebuilt and refixed and all the rest of it. But children's lives and children dying of starvation and hunger is way more important than a building.
The message that should be being sent by the church is that you help people, and that this is just a building and it's just a fucking thing. None of these things matter. It really doesn't. It's like it is. No, I don't want to be insensitive to people, but there was a huge. We're good, right? My syrup is full. Did it stop? No, it didn't stop.
Did it stop?
We're all good. No, it didn't stop. We're all good for now.
No.
Sorry.
It's funny that we're talking about this.
But that awful thing happened
today. This morning.
Horrible terrorist attack in Sri Lanka. I think 8 or 10 locations, explosions going off. Fucking absolutely horrible. And it's like that's like a real tragedy. And that $1 billion, they should just take every bit of it and send it right over to Sri Lanka and help out the families.
1,000,000%.
Just that's it. Take that money right now and just say, you know what? Fuck it. This is the building. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't fucking matter. The church has enough money. They can rebuild it themselves. Send that money right there, right now, because there was literally an attack on these people's religion. And I'm not religious, so I look at it as the same thing as when that mosque was shot up.
Why did you touch your laptop then as if to say you're going to look at like facts and figures, but you actually have on there nice pictures of cats and leopards?
It makes me feel good when I see
cute little animals. It's like he touches his laptop as if to say, "Oh yeah, these terrorist attacks and people are dead." But when you look at it, there's pictures of bullshit and cartoons. No, listen. I checked. Last I checked, 207 people had died. 207 people,
Yeah.
and my heart just breaks for all those families. And you're absolutely right. $1 billion has been raised for a building. Send it to Sri Lanka. Give it to them. Give it to the families. Give it to the other 400 people that are injured still. There's still 400 people, over 400, that are severely injured. They're going to need help. So, yeah.
It's terrible. I mean,
the building.
Are we... and I don't want to make this show too serious, so we'll move on.
I know. We're going to have
balls in a minute. But
don't worry. We're going to move on from this depressing talk and get into Game of Thrones,
of course,
which we know you all love. We're not. We're joking. We actually said don't mention Game of Thrones because I know it divides the audience a little bit. Lewis, you were going to say something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember what I was going to say. I don't want to get too depressing on this stuff, but it's like, that's right. Is this really happening that much more? I'd love to look at like the real numbers, or is it just that we have access to news at our fingertips in real time? So I get a notification on my phone when this happens at the exact second. I look at my phone and I see there's a terrorist attack. Whereas I think you had to be a little bit more motivated to get the news into your life years ago.
Well, this morning you messaged me.
Yeah.
And it was Sunday morning, having my weekly lie-in, Lewis.
Yeah, you were.
We were up very
know
early
what you were
normally,
doing
but
this
it was
morning.
It was
having a little alone time for Mr. Bisping. I get it.
Lewis, Jesus Christ. It was 9:30. You called, and I'm like, "Oh, you mentioned this in Sri Lanka." I'm like, "What?"
I didn't just call. Before you get into that, he texts me. He's like a teenage girl. He just texts over and over again, and we're going back and forth. And but the amount of time
you can't call me. But first of all, you text, and I'm like, "Okay, I've just woke up," which in itself is code for fuck off for a bit, okay? and then you carry on texting. I'm like, yeah. And then he calls, and as soon as he answered, I said, "I knew you were gonna call." And it's like, "Yeah, I'm not a teenager. I'm done texting." I'm like, "Yes, but I don't like to speak to people before I've had my first coffee."
I mean, we're talking about how do you like to text? It takes so much energy. The amount of words I can get out with just a simple phone call. Hey, dude, we're gonna come at 2:30. Cool, very cool. I'm with your outfit. Blah blah blah. Done. A minute later, we're done. As opposed to for 15 minutes, just going back and forth. I'm waiting for a response. I'm looking at it. I see that he read it. I'm going, why didn't you fucking respond yet?
I am a caller. I prefer to call than text. I'm always arguing with my wife over it.
Yeah.
She likes to do anything. She likes to reserve it online and do it that way. I'm like, just call them.
I don't.
Because I like an immediate response. I want to know.
I want to
hear
in that person's voice that I need a human being telling me when I'm going to need delivery, I want a human being to tell me, yes, I understand you want extra soy sauce. That's it. I don't want a fucking
What
computer.
are you getting extra soy sauce on? Because that's weird.
A little bit of soy sauce on the side for some sushi.
Extra soy sauce?
Why not?
It's a lot of salt, a lot of sodium.
What are you going to do, baby boy? Come on, man. It's a cheat day. A little bit of sushi is not that bad.
Brown rice. Retaining so much water.
But I like to talk to a human being. I don't like using any of those apps that deliver the food because there seems to be a level of accountability.
No. The apps that deliver the food are fantastic.
I hate it. Never. Nope, these aren't sponsors. Bleep that out, no. Shannon. Bleep both those names out. Sorry.
What's the other one that we do?
Well, there's Uber Eats.
Yeah. You don't do any of these?
Nothing.
Dude,
the only time I'll do it is...
they're amazing. You should do. We do them. My wife does them all the time. And now the problem is, my kids, and I've had to put a stop to this, they have the apps on their phone. And then sometimes I come in and Ellie and her friends are sitting there. They brought the restaurant from the restaurant to our house and they're sitting there with our friends on my credit card.
On your credit card?
Yes.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
She doesn't have a bank account. She doesn't have a credit card.
How did she get your credit card?
No, we have it on, excuse me, pardon me. We've logged in to the app on her phone for her. So if we're not here doing something, yes, she can order a sandwich. She can order something. But, ordering filet mignon and whatever, and all the friends are sitting around having a great time. And Ubering all over the fucking place as well.
That's crazy.
This has got to stop.
How often do you check? You never check either, do you?
Ever.
I
actually don't know how to check online banking.
I have no idea. For a while, I didn't even have the app. When I first met Kim, she was like, you don't have a banking app? Like, how do you know? I was like, I never check my account. I never check anything. By the way, this is going to be people stealing my identity right now and just fucking use. Because I would never go. I have such ADD to go through everything and itemize it and go, did I spend that there? Did I spend that there?
I hate it though. I hate it
Crazy.
because now and again I'll get my wife's phone and I'll say, okay, show me the bank balance. And I'm like, oh God, I thought it was better than that. And then every time I'm like, Jesus. And then I start going through it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I'd rather just not know.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. And then I'm like, this is crazy. We've really got to start, tightening things up around here. This is out of control.
Well, you lived your
How
means.
much on Ubers? This is insane.
You lived your means, right? So we talked about this plenty of times on the show, sort of about setting goals and about how everyone pays their rent every month. We don't know many people that are starving to death. We know, well, even if you have a friend who's poor, that person still isn't homeless. That person still is paying their rent most of the time. Well, there are homeless people out there, but there's something about human beings. We're designed to hit these goals, right? We sort of set a goal and we hit it, and it's a psychological thing more than anything else. So if you were just to say, I'm not going to look at my money and I'm not going to define my life by that standard. I'm going to define my life by the standard of what I want to do and what I want to get out of life. That line and that money would match whatever you want to get out of life. Now, I think naturally, I think that's just human nature. I think it's when people talk about The Secret or any of those dumb sales books, that's really what it is. So I think in a weird way, it's a good thing. You have to have a balance. It's good to have Rebecca, who's probably more level-headed with shit, but to be able to, and you do a lot of shit, to sort of be able to not restrict yourself by those numbers, I think is a good thing. And anybody listening to that, I preach a lot of that, and I really do believe that, like deep inside, you argue with me about this, but it's like
you've totally lost me.
Oh, have I? I'm sorry.
You've totally lost me. I'm like, what is he even talking about?
For the show.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know.
But I mean it.
I'm sitting there, I'm listening to you. I'm like, that must be some good stuff, because I'm like, what is he going on about right now? You're getting really deep and philosophical, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I'm agreeing to. Yes.
So, the point is, the Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world, right, Bisping? Go.
Oh, well, it's always the Jews. Let's be honest. Come on. Don't understand what the issue is with the Jewish people either. But all right, let's take a quick second to hear from Fulton and Roarke. Fulton and Roarke is a men's grooming company and a fragrance company that creates products that are not only of the highest quality, but also they make getting ready more enjoyable. Now, probably best known for their solid waxed-based colognes. I love these, Lewis. I use them all the time. Listen, let me tell you, and I'm not showing off here, I have all the good fragrances.
I know you
I
do.
have all the colognes. My wife buys them. Every Christmas, every birthday, I get a new aftershave, right? But let me tell you this, when I'm getting ready, do I pick them up? Do I spray them onto my neck? No, I don't. You know why? They're overpowering. They're a little bit too much. The Fulton and Roarke solid wax-based cologne, you pick that up, you rub your thumb on it, and you just touch your neck exactly where you want it. It smells great. It's not overpowering. It's amazing. It's a great fragrance.
It's not like the other ones smell too perfumey. This smells like
manly.
There's just no other way to describe it, okay? The Sterling, which is the one that I'm wearing literally right now, and I see the way you're leaning into me more and more as we do the show. So I don't think you actually have feelings for me. I think this is you wanting to get more Sterling inside of your nostrils. It features the warm notes of tobacco, leather, and vanilla. It's a masculine but sophisticated and perfect for this time of year. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. And they also have a whole line of grooming products. GQ named their shave cream the best on the market, and their aftershave cloths just won a Men's Health Grooming Award. Men's Health, Lewis. GQ, Lewis. I mean, these are the heavy hitters in terms of men's, looking after yourself type brands, magazines, that type of stuff. If they're getting behind this company, then you should too. Fulton and Roarke, honestly, we're having a laugh as always, but I do love their solid wax wax-based cologne. And Sterling is the one that I go for. Also, Lewis. Maybe they just sent us both the same one. But
Probably. But it smells great. It really does.
It's fantastic. I really, really do like it. So give it a try, guys. Seriously, give it a try. You can, the small little metal cases that they come in, it's very, very cool. It's like a Zippo lighter. You can throw it in your gym bag, throw it in your jeans pocket, have it in your car, wherever
really
you
cool
go.
gift if you have a person in your life that likes to wear cologne, dress nice. Really awesome gift.
Absolutely, and they will be quite surprised because it is a cool little thing. It's a very unique twist on cologne. So certainly check this out. So go to Fulton and Roarke. That's Fulton, Fulton, and Roarke, Roark, fultonandroarke.com. And use the promo code BYM when you check out. You will get 15% off your total purchase. Also, it lets them know that we sent you there, so it definitely helps us. But if you want to buy some nice cologne, you want to get a good gift, you're looking for some men's grooming products, you get a full range, full line, they'll deliver straight to your door. Go to fultonandroarke.com, promo code BYM, 15% off. Thank you very much. Lewis, where were we?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter.
Show.
Stop texting me.
Simple as
I'm
that.
joking. Anyone who texted me Happy Easter, I appreciate it. Happy Easter to you too.
There's not a ton of them. We got to get into some MMA news,
Well,
though.
we will do.
Can you tell me what happened with your knee? You were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, people don't want to hear about it. We'll save it for another time. I'm conscious now on these podcasts that we don't. I'm not just talking about me. Let's talk about other people. Let's talk about the world. You know what I mean? Let's talk about a lot of issues. But I do want to talk about the documentary which is coming out. I'm joking. You might have noticed I was with Vin Diesel on my Instagram the other day. Built for this, the Bisping doc, coming soon. Follow them on Instagram. Search Bisping doc, okay?
You see, he never puts pictures of me on Instagram, but his fucking friend Vin Diesel.
No. The funny thing is, Lewis.
No, I get it.
Lewis,
Well,
if you were here,
Starfucker Bisping.
we're going to do so many pictures for Instagram. But the funny, Lewis, listen.
You're not interviewing me for the documentary?
Just shut off a second.
This cocksucker doesn't know Vin Diesel. He barely knows him.
Hired him. It was very expensive. No, the funny thing was, so many comments on Instagram, because if you look, I'll show you the picture. There is a resemblance, maybe from a distance, between yourself and Vin Diesel. And the comments were like, wow, Lewis is really body beasting big time. So many people have really said, wow, Lewis is really pumping iron. I guarantee I can find them pretty easily. But
look at that face. Look how happy he is to be next to Vin Diesel. I've never seen him smile like that once.
No, we were having a laugh.
Once ever for anything I've said or done. If I had somebody look at me the way he looks at Vin Diesel, I'd get married right now. I would leave the country. I'd go live in Europe in the hills.
You know what you sound like? You sound like a hater.
I am a
You sound
hater.
like a jealous little hater, Lewis. Trying to embarrass me. Jeez, Louise.
I'm not a star fucker. That's not what I do.
Neither am I. Far from it. But there's many stars in the documentary, so you got to follow it. We got Michael J. White. We got Mickey Rourke. We got Vin Diesel.
All those good friends.
We got all good friends. We got Scott Adkins. We got many, many other people. Frank Grillo's going to be on there. So come on, check it out. Give the page a follow. All right. Here's a good story to talk about. And it's a bit of a shame. And we'll have a bit of a laugh with it. But I hear that Darren Till got arrested.
What happened with
on
this
Thursday
now?
night? Yeah, take a look.
Allegedly.
I don't know if it's allegedly. Maybe he did get arrested. Darren Till arrested in Canary Islands for allegedly trashing hotel and stealing cab.
So he was definitely arrested, allegedly trashed a hotel room, stole a cab.
Yeah, so Tenerife is one of the Canary Islands. And for the American listeners, it's a very, very popular destination for Brits to go to, you know. The English kind of invade the Mediterranean and the islands and the Canary Islands, you know, throughout the year because the weather in England's crap, you know, and you can get a real cheap flight to all these different places like Marbella, Magaluf, Ibiza, Canary Islands, Tenerife, which is where Darren Till was, and relatively cheap package holidays. You know, you can get a flight there for next to nothing, very, very small amount of money. So the English are always there. Brits Abroad, we're called.
And it's like garbage people because they're looking for the cheap.
Yeah.
So it's not even
not everybody's garbage, but there is a certain section, and they are the Brits Abroad that give you a bad name. They're out there. They got the Union Jack towels. They're all hammered. You know, they're getting as wasted as possible. They're being obnoxious.
So they're like the Americans
giving the British
of
a
Great
bad name. I'm telling you.
The way people look at Americans just in general, these are the British version of those people.
1,000,000%.
Like, yeah.
They're at the pubs at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're drinking Stella Artois, which sounds very nice. They're watching Only Fools and Horses, which is British sitcom. And then they're waiting for the football, the soccer to start, and they just get hammered and very obnoxious. But they do have a bloody good time. And Darren Till, by all accounts, I don't know. I'm only basing this off from what I've read online this morning. So they're out there, him and his friends from Liverpool. They probably had a bloody good time. Sounds like they had a good night out.
They trashed their hotel room and emptied the fire extinguishers.
Yeah. Emptied the fire extinguisher. I read this to my wife, and my wife was like, "Oh God, they need to grow up." And I'm like, "Ugh, who hasn't emptied a fire extinguisher now and again?
Yeah.
You ever done that?"
Of course.
Yeah, come on.
I was a kid.
Yeah, well, I'm 40 years old. I'm very mature. I don't entertain that type of behavior. But when I was younger, he's only 26, 14 years ago.
26, born in 1992. I remember 92 like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
And he's a famous kid who's a fighter, good-looking dude. We're being consistent. We've said this before about people like Justin Bieber. That when you have a young person, he has the mindset of a 16-year-old because he's in entertainment. He's famous. He's been famous for a little while now. He's a fighter. This is not a quote-unquote mature lifestyle to go into. You're going into it as a dreamer. It's like a very, small chances you're even going to make it. So you got to kind of go into this thing with like, that's not nobody's parents would say that's a mature decision. Go be a mixed martial artist with your life.
No, for sure, absolutely. When I started, it seemed like madness. But the thing is, and I know some of his mates, and they're bloody good lads. They're fucking hilarious. One thing about Scousers, right, from Liverpool, they have some of the best sense of humour, and they will have you in pieces. They will rip the piss out of you. They will bust your balls. Like the East Coast and New York, they talk about busting balls. They ain't got shit on the Scousers, man. That's what they do, man. They just rip you apart, and they're very, very funny. So I guarantee they had a very, very good night out. And then now the story goes is that they got kicked out of the hotel for trashing it. I mean, trashing it. Come on, they let off the fire extinguisher. They might have made a bit of a mess. But the hotel
you put that card down. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. The hotel manager kicked them out. So then they went across the street to another hotel. Let's get off the SpongeBob cup.
I'm sorry.
I must admit this, but I'm very possessive over my SpongeBob cup.
I really think I drank from it like three times.
Sometimes,
you guys on video
sometimes
have me.
I come down here and I will have guests staying, and I see them drinking out of my SpongeBob cup, and I'm like, that's my fucking cup, right? You can help yourself to the entire house. Do whatever you want, but don't contaminate my cup with your saliva.
I don't know. If you guys rewind, I might have drank out of that cup a couple times throughout the show. We're sharing the cup like a homosexual couple. Just
a bright yellow cup on Easter Sunday. Where were we? So they've had a good time. They've left the hotel. They got kicked out. They tried to get another hotel. Apparently, they were denied. So then they've called a taxi, and apparently, when the taxi showed up and the guy, the driver was loading their luggage into it, allegedly, according to the reports, Darren's jumped in the driver's seat and driven off. And now the charges, apparently, stealing a taxi. But how are you going to steal a taxi? It sounds to me like they were just having a laugh, because the driver is putting their luggage into the boot of the car, the trunk, and they've driven up, probably just having a laugh. You know what I mean? But the charges is that they've arrested it. Sounds to me like they had a bloody good time.
They were arrested in Costa Dehe, the largest island on the Canary Islands, blah, blah, blah. There's no other news reports. So, look, here's the thing. Yes, they were just having a good time, but, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they stole this guy's cab. Now,
and not only is it just his car, that's how he makes a living.
I know, that's it.
My God, Darren, what are you doing,
And he
buddy?
can't do anything. He's got to take it because it's a bunch of fighters.
He's going to stand there while they drive away in his car. And
he's got to call his wife and make up a story.
Even if he could catch them, what is he going to do?
Really tried to fight the guys off.
But he is in Spain.
Is it Spain?
Well, yeah, Canary Islands is part of Spain. It's part of Spain, Lewis. They belong to Spain. Search it. Google it.
All right.
Listen,
I didn't know that.
It's part of Spain, and I'm just saying, Masvidal has Spanish connections.
You're really stretching for this one, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe
so
there's something there. I don't
payback
know.
for Masvidal? Okay.
I don't know. They're like, hey, we got to get this guy,
Detective Bisping over here. You really figured it out.
Hold on a minute. It's Masvidal. It is. It's Masvidal. Get him.
By the way, last night it was him in front of a giant map with a bunch of red
and a
strings
whiteboard
pointing
with
everywhere.
ribbons and pins and everything. And Masvidal in the middle. All signs
old
point to
newspapers.
Masvidal. Yeah.
Well, look, it kind of reminds me of the Conor McGregor thing, because Conor McGregor was arrested for strong-arm robbery, and it sounds on the surface, you go like, oh my God, Darren Till stole a cab. It's like, no.
I'll be honest.
He
Listen.
He was playing a prank. He was drunk. He was stupid. And Conor McGregor wasn't trying to strong arm rob somebody's phone. He grabbed the phone out of somebody's hand and smashed it, which is, it just sort of sounds...
I'll be honest, and I shouldn't really say this on the podcast, but I mean, come on, who has it? I've never trashed a hotel room, but I've definitely had hotel rooms that when I left, you could describe them as being trashed. Do you know what I mean? I've never purposely trashed a hotel room, but like I remember when I fought Matt Hamill, we had a nice hotel room and then we had a party in it and there was about 30, 40 people in there. It was a big suite. And then at the end of it, everyone left and it was a mess, and people were using... It wasn't my hotel room, thank God.
I thought you put Matt Hamill in your hotel room, you turned the lights off and just watched him trash it trying to find the light switch.
It wasn't my hotel room, but some of the people in there were using... There was a stand-up lamp with a lampshade and they were using empty beer bottles and the lampshade as a basketball hoop.
Oh, hilarious.
You know what I mean? And just because it's 10 o'clock in the morning and that was, 12 years ago as well. So I was 28, disclaimer. And it wasn't even my hotel room, but that's what was going on. That room was a disgrace. Now, my point is, you know what I mean? Does it make him a criminal? No. Does it make him probably owing some money to the hotel? Probably have to get his credit card out and say, okay, you know what? I owe you a few hundred for that. My bad, my apologies. Maybe a new lamp. Maybe clean that up or whatever it is. And then, because they're hammered, the taxi drivers showed up and he's done that. And he's probably, they're all probably rolling about pissing themselves. But the interesting one is, though, was he drunk when he drove off in the cab?
Definitely.
Because he had 100%. To be wasted.
100%. Are you crazy? Of course.
But there's no talk of a DUI. Thank God. And by the way, I'm not trying to grass him up or rat him up. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously he was drunk. There's no doubt about it. But they probably had to have caught him behind the wheel. There's probably he could say he didn't drive it. The guy who did drove it ran away. That's what I would say.
Do you know what this reminds me of? When I heard about it and he jumps in the car and drives away. Have you seen and can you remember the movie Enter the Dragon from Bruce Lee?
I don't remember it
well enough. At the start, two cops walk up to Bruce Lee and they go... Oh, no, it's not to Bruce Lee. It's to, I think it's Jones, Black Belt Jones, the black guy. And they say some very racist words, which I won't repeat. They go, hey, where are you going, beep? And they this beep got a passport. And, Hong Kong via Hawaii. You ain't going to Hawaii. And then, and then he beats them up. And then he jumps in the cop car, turns the siren on and drives off. And that's what I initially thought when I heard of Darren Till jumping in the taxi and driving off. Yeah, you've never seen it. Whatever.
No, it's all right.
Good talk. Great talk. Good podcast.
I'm going to go watch it now. You really inspired me, and I think probably a lot of other people that are out there watching.
If you've never seen Enter the Dragon, check it out, because it's a martial arts classic.
That's one of the cool things about this podcast is not only do you get this great piece of content, but typically you get a little bit of life advice, and that's just another moment where you get to go out and...
You get to see my kitchen.
It's pretty fucking great.
You get to see Lewis's shiny head. All right, guys. Who doesn't love a good bit of beef jerky? I tell you, when I'm on the road and you're trying to eat healthy, it's a perfect choice. Why? Low in fat, high in protein, tastes delicious, no carbs. It's fantastic. But guess what? There's the best beef jerky in the world out there, but you just need to know about it. It's a family business from California that have been making quality jerky for over 85 years. Of course, Lewis, I'm talking about original small batch beef jerky. It's People's Choice beef jerky. Unlike mass-produced beef jerky, People's Choice beef jerky is marinated, sliced, and cooked by hand. That's right, People's Choice beef jerky is handmade in small batches, so you can really, really taste the difference, Lewis.
Oh, believe me, dude. I'm eating right now in my bag. I have the Cowboy Peppered, which is spicy and delicious. It's nice and soft. When you go to 7-Eleven or one of these, when you go to one of these, like a gas station and grab beef jerky, it's always plasticky and hard and chewy. It's awful.
Disgraceful.
This tastes like real meat. It's delicious. You can taste the family love that they put into this. It's loaded with protein, key vitamins and minerals. It's a high energy snack, and you can bring it everywhere. That's the best part of all of it is when I'm on the road, I'm on the go. Same thing with you. It's so easy to just throw it in your bag. It's like having a fucking steakhouse in your backpack.
Beef jerky?
Beef jerky, baby boy.
Beef jerky? You want some beef jerky? What movie is that, Lewis?
I don't know. What is it?
What movie is that? No! Beef jerky?
He comes up with these references sometimes.
Fucking Trading Places, man. On the end, on the train, when Dan Aykroyd has got the blackface on and he's pretending to whatever. Yeah, but that is not People's Choice beef jerky, right?
People's Choice beef jerky is not the ones where you wear blackface. In fact, they don't want you, specifically they wrote in the liner notes.
It says here, no blackface whatsoever. But if you do want to get involved and you want to support this, and if you want to have the best beef jerky, and I'm telling you, they sent us some, and thank you very much, People's Choice. It's delicious, it's nutritious, and you will know that yourself when you try it. How do you try it, you say? Well, very simple. Go to peopleschoicebeefjerky.com and then use the promo code BYM20. You're going to get 20% off. Now, we've spoken a lot about beef jerky, but this is the best beef jerky you will try. Please try it. BYM20, 20% off. peopleschoicebeefjerky.com. Okay, enough about the jerky. Let's talk turkey.
Darren Till, yeah, good for him. I think we need more of that in life, and this is going to sound a little bit weird.
More.
We need more rock stars, man. You know, you watch the Motley Crue movie?
Can I tell you a story?
Of course.
My brother's stag do, which is a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Oh my God! See that a B&B kind of got trashed, and it got out of control. And there was fire extinguishers set off. There was all kinds of stuff.
But they needed to be set up because you lit the place on fire.
But Conrad was in the army at the time, and all his army friends showed up.
Oh man!
And they were all there, and they were like serious guys, and they were hammered. And they hadn't been to bed all night, and then in the morning, then they're demanding their money back from the B&B, saying, "Hold on a minute, we've paid you to stay here. All we've done all night is drink at your bar and give you money over the bar." Mm-hmm. Which they were wrong. Their argument was very, very flawed, but they were hammered. And anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm tapping out because this looks like it's going to get nasty. You know what I mean? So I disappeared off, and I walked down the street to get a drink, and I'm walking back. And as I was walking back, the SWAT team of police pulled up. There was like riot vans of cops, like 20, 30 cops with shields and helmets and all sorts, all running in to the bed and breakfast. I was like, yeah, I chose the right time to leave. So yeah, it got a little out of hand.
Yeah, I've never tried. I haven't made enough money in my life to trash hotel rooms. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that's just a dick move, though. To purposely trash a hotel room is just a dick move. As I'm saying, I don't think anyone really does that because you're an asshole if you do. I think maybe a party gets a little bit out of hand.
Maybe, yeah, but there's also just, you see those, the rock stars back in the day, Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, and these guys get just obliterated, and it's sort of fun.
Yeah, but they're expected to do that also.
Of course, but I think we
do you
need
know
more
what I mean?
of that.
There's a little bit of the keeping up appearances with that.
But why not in MMA? Like Conor McGregor, this is what we talk about him all the time, or any of these guys. It's like, there needs to be some characters. There needs to be some rock stars in the world. People need to be bad boys. Not everybody needs to be a role model or a goody two-shoes. So I love in MMA that there's all of these different personality types, and there should be. Everybody should be represented. It doesn't... in entertainment right now, they seem to only want to represent one type of person.
You mean the goody two-shoes, boring bastard that won't say anything even reasonably close to the edge? It's all going to be totally politically correct. Everybody loves everybody. Women are the best. Men are dog shit.
Exactly.
We're all sexual pests and predators. And other than that, we're all good.
But beyond that, I mean, they have a point there.
No, but we're not. We're not. But I see what you're saying. These days, to be accepted by the mainstream media and not be criticized or picked at or nitpicked, you've got to be perfect and not controversial in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, let people go and make mistakes sometimes, and people look at that and they learn from it. I was legitimately a big Motley Crue fan growing up. My sister was 2 years older than me, so when you have an older sibling, they sort of pave the way for you with things. So when I was really young, like 8 or 9 years old, I was listening to like Motley Crue and Skid Row and like these heavy metal bands. My first 2 concerts ever were Poison concerts. Little known fact.
Okay.
First concert, what was it?
I'm not a concert goer.
First concert. You still have a first concert. You went to go see fucking Smashing Pumpkins a year ago, so I know that's not your first one.
No, it wasn't my first, but it's one of. I can count them on one hand. The first concert I ever went to.
First concert ever. Real band.
I think the first concert I ever went to, I was in Toronto. I was promoting my fight against Brian Stan. Right?
That recent?
Yes, I just told you I don't go to concerts. I went to many raves. Okay, I was about that scene. I wasn't into all the fucking guys with the guitars.
Right.
I was into DJs and raves and going out and doing that stuff. Okay,
yeah, something like I was into guys with guitars. Okay, I wasn't into guys with guitars. I was into music.
Yeah, okay. But when I was younger, I wasn't. I was into music, but I was into house music and dance music and all that type of stuff.
Right.
So I went to clubs and I went to raves and I went to that type of stuff. And I think it was the first concert. So as I say, I was promoting the Brian Stan fight, and Demetrius Johnson and Demetrius Johnson. Sorry. Megan O'Leary's husband. What's he? Joseph Benavidez. Pardon me. Sorry, Joe. My sincere apologies.
I'm just going to call him Megan O'Leary's husband from now on.
Joseph Benavidez and Demetrius Johnson were the main event, and they were there. And we got tickets for Coldplay. So,
Okay.
so I went with a training partner. We went to Coldplay, and the funny thing was, Demetrius Johnson and Joseph Benavidez, they went together. They were the main event.
Yeah.
They were the main event, and they went to a Coldplay concert together, and they were sat just a little bit behind us, and we were busting their balls all night long, saying, "Oh, isn't this so cute? You're on a nice little date here." They're gonna fucking fight soon. And they're at Coldplay.
135 pounders, man. They got to do what they got to do.
They got to do what they got to do. Now, my wife just walked in with a box of Stella Artois
There she is, Mrs. Bisping.
floating around in the background.
She looks like a teenager. It's infuriating.
Yeah, she used to. She used to look like a teenager. I don't want one back. Well, did you used to look like a teenager? Don't make that face. You're not a teenager.
Yeah,
You're
she was a teenager.
You're a very beautiful woman. And I love you to bits. I'm trying to be funny, but also at the same time, let's be honest. You don't look like a teenager. You look like a beautiful woman, and I'm very, very proud to have you on my arm. I don't want to be a babe. I don't put that poison in my body. I just booked an acting gig. Can't say what it is. We haven't signed the papers yet. I've got a few weeks. I'm on a big diet, so I'm cutting out all alcohol.
That's it.
I'm cutting out carbohydrates, cutting out fat. I'm intermittent fasting. Okay?
Me too, technically, but
No, I am though. And it's easy. I thought it was going to be hard. I get out of bed.
how many hours a day do you eat?
8.
I'm down to 7. I switched it to 7.
Okay, and full cream in the coffee. You got to have full cream. You can't have milk.
Why?
Because the milk has sugar in it, and it breaks you fast.
Oh no, I don't. I do black.
All right. Well,
I don't
there
even
you
do
go.
anything. I know, yeah, because the cream has kiddo. We had a full argument on this fucking topic, specifically about a breve latte, which is fucking made with half and half instead of oh my god,
Half and half doesn't work. It's still half milk.
1 gram of sugar.
Okay,
1 gram of sugar per
well,
serving.
it doesn't matter. It's enough to break the fast. Okay,
There's 7 grams of sugar
It's pointless.
in milk.
It is pointless.
But I do black
If you're going
coffee.
to break the fast, you are wasting your time.
What hours do you?
I'm doing 12 to 8, so I eat from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock, which is easy.
And you're still cutting out the carbs and sugar and all that shit. So you're doing intermittent fasting plus low carb, low sugar.
as well as working out twice a day. I'm doing 40. This morning I did 45 minutes on the Peloton bike. It's not an ad. And last time I spoke about Peloton, everybody was like, "Oh God, they're paying him." I fucking wish they were. Peloton, if you want to send me some money or a free bike, whatever, I'll take it.
Yeah, we also use real products in life. It's not like it's just
I know.
everything is like
No,
it's like
Stella.
Stella Artois. Delicious,
and I will
refreshing.
take some payment from Stella because goddamn, I've given them enough. No, I did 45 minutes on the Peloton bike this morning, 920 calories.
Yeah.
That's a lot of calories to burn in one workout. It's great. So
But
and then
can I be honest with you?
And then when you leave,
That's not real.
it is real.
920 calories is not real.
It is real.
Can I tell you why?
Why? It's more.
I like
it's
arguing-
more.
I
It's
like
more.
challenging you
It's
to finish
more.
it because you're a professional athlete.
No.
I'm just a fat Puerto Rican.
Whatever it says you burned then, it's actually more because you continue to burn throughout the day because you higher your metabolism. And then when you're gone, I'm going to go down and I'm going to lift my weight. So I'm working out twice a day. I'm intermittent fasting. I've cut out the booze. I'm doing all that shit. Mate, in 3 weeks' time when I get in this movie set, it's going to be very intimidating for these people.
They're probably going to fire you first day, but there's too much.
It's like his abs are out of control.
Can we CGI his abs off his body?
I mean, it's not fair on the other people. The guy has 2 perfect eyes these days.
It's ridiculous.
You know, he's got abs for days.
Holy shit.
He doesn't drink.
Did your eye get on the Peloton bike?
You
What
know
happened there? It
I mean?
looks great.
Look at
It's
that
fucking
bad boy.
unbelievable.
Look at that. I could blow people's mind right now, but I won't. But
So listen, no. Let me tell you why. Because they're not considering, like, all they do is they put in your weight and height, correct?
yes.
What other factors are they doing?
Age,
They
weight,
put age there?
height, and yeah. But then it's obviously how much effort I put into the machine.
No, but let's say me and you are the exact same weight, the exact same age, the exact same height. We're not, but let's just say we were. It's not that far off, to be honest with you.
Hypothetical situation.
You're a
but-
professional athlete, so the amount of calories, in order for you to get to the place where you're burning a calorie, it takes more, even if it's the same like work.
I disagree.
That's being measured on that bike, yeah, of course.
Well, so for me to burn 10 calories and you to burn 10 calories, you're saying I have to move more because I'm a professional athlete.
Yes.
I don't think that's how the system
think that's
works.
how it works.
I don't think it is. I think, listen, expenditure is expenditure. Effort is effort. If I'm moving, look, I'm sliding that cup across, right?
Okay,
Whether or
but no,
not-
look, it takes, all right, the load that it takes for me to pick up this cup, because you are quarter, and he's not really stronger than
but
me,
hold
by the
on,
way.
but hold on.
He hasn't fought in a while. Let's
But
just not
because
get
I have a high muscle percentage, I actually burn more calories just sitting here doing nothing. My body's burning more calories than yours because there's more muscle.
Well, because you're also metabolic training, the way you're dieting and the way you're training regularly.
No, but I need more calories just to survive by doing nothing
I'm
than you
burning
do.
more calories on that Peloton bike by going 1 mile than you are. That's what I'm saying. If we go the exact same mile on that bike, I am burning more calories, and even if we were the same weight. Because I'm not an athlete, there's more. It takes more effort. My
that
heart
may
rate,
be true.
My heart rate has to get higher.
All I know is that when I get off that bike, and this morning I did it in a Ruka like sweaty top, so I was like pissing sweat everywhere, and I looked down at the calorie count and it said 920 calories.
Yeah.
All I know is that I'm happy. Okay, I look at that and I say I've burned 920 calories this morning, and I haven't even eaten. My God, I'm using my fat cells as fuel for the day. I'm burning 920 calories, and you bloody bet your ass I'm going to talk about it on a podcast. But I do that every day, okay? It's just who I am.
Go to PelotonBikes.com and use the promo code BYM15.
Lewis is full of shit.
They should. Jesus Christ, the amount we just gave them the fucking
Oh,
promo.
my God. Yeah, it is great, though.
All right, Mike, real quick, we should talk about Fight Camp, which is so cool, okay? It's the absolute best home workout, okay? Anywhere you live, okay? Driving to the gym, getting through traffic, whatever it is, it makes going to the gym a pain in the ass. Doing it from your home is so motivating. I mean, you've been talking about the Peloton bike the entire show today. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been using Fight Camp lately. It's such an incredible workout. They have an interactive boxing workout that includes tracking equipment used by real professional fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's all kinds of different workouts. So you download the app. It'll play on your iPhone, on your iPad, or your TV. The workouts are all taught by people with actual fight experience, and they're totally interactive, unlike DVDs or YouTube videos. You can't press pause and then walk away. With the Fight Camp punch trackers, the trainers will actually set punch goals and keep pushing you. It's just like having a boxing coach or your own Jason Perillo in the front room. And plus, classes for all levels. You don't need to be advanced. You don't need to be a world champion. You don't even need to be an undefeated professional MMA fighter like Luis J. Gomez. True. If you've never done it, they have classes for you. It's unbelievable. And as they said, they got the tracking technology inside the gloves. You know how hard you're hitting. You know how many calories you're burning.
Yeah.
You know how hard you're working, Luis.
And it's everything you need. Not only is it just the tracking equipment and the gloves, it's everything you need. It's a complete boxing gym in your home. They have the bag, the floor mats, the gloves, the punch trackers, all the workouts. Everything you need comes right to your house. This is one of the coolest things, and we give you a pretty damn cool offer on it as well. It's joinfightcamp.com is a website. That is joinfightcamp.com. And if you use the promo code BELIEVE, BELIEVE, you get $100 off the entire package. Complete boxing gym in your house with the interactive workouts. Joinfightcamp.com. Use that promo code BELIEVE for $100 off.
Yeah, so
what are we
talking about?
He sent some other shit.
Yesterday there was fights in Russia. I would have liked to have gone.
You were invited, right?
I was offered that show, but I've been traveling so much lately, I wanted to minimize it. Good fights. I watched them yesterday. Main event, we had Alistair Overeem versus taking on Alexander Oleinik. Is it? No, Alexei Oleinik. Alexei Oleinik, the Ezekiel guy. I know you didn't watch it, Lewis, but I was watching it. And again, it's not a plug. I was actually on the Peloton bike watching the fights.
That's one of the most convenient things about the Peloton bike is you could watch TV right while you're on it,
I was doing a scenic ride.
Plug in your headphones.
Through San Francisco.
It's pretty incredible.
Whilst watching the main event on there.
There's no other company that would enable you to do something like that.
It was incredible.
Peloton.
It
Peloton.com.
Really was. Your girlfriend has just walked in. She's removed the mask. So this side of my face is very lit up now. Well done, Kim. Well done. Ruined the show.
Oh,
it's
he's
okay.
Furious right now.
My
the amount of
God.
effort that it took to get that sheet up there.
No. So Alistair Overeem proves that he's still one of the best in the business. One of the best.
Look, it was a great performance by Overeem. I did watch the highlights just now before we started the show because I was discouraged by Mike. I was going to watch the whole fight. I was going to watch all, and he said, "You know what? Don't even."
No.
And then he also told me he wasn't going to fucking throw me under the bus on the show. He was like, "Listen, we'll just fucking."
Because Lewis, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I'll talk about it, and you just piggyback off what I say.
I mean, can you stop? Do one or the other, because all it is the light keeps on. It's like a fucking fire's in the corner of
Stand
the
on
room
the
now.
chair because you're very short. No offense. You're not very short. Yeah, I don't care.
You would have thought that she would have just used her brain power to figure out that there's a chair right there.
on the chair, put it up.
Look at that ass. Fuck yeah.
Jesus, doggy. Where was I? All right, Alistair Overeem. So here's the thing. I mean, Alistair Overeem back in the day was one of, well, he still is, as I said, one of the best. But he was the man. I think it was was he the UFC heavyweight champ at one point?
Interim, I believe.
He took it off Brock Lesnar, right? Did he? I know he beat Brock Lesnar. Anyway, he was the man. Kickboxing
That
champ.
was Alistair's debut, actually.
K1 champ. You know, he was very, very good. Also used to be very, very big, if you know what I'm saying. You saw him come in, he got a little smaller, and he lost a few fights. And I like Alistair, and I believe he should be given the respect that is due because, you know, he has been around so long. Now, he did start losing a couple of fights, and of course, time takes its toll on every single fighter.
He doesn't really lose to... I mean, dude, Alistair is sort of, at this point, the gatekeeper for the division. And, you know, I don't know. We talked a little bit about it before the show starts. I don't know if he's that good or if the heavyweight division is sort of that thin and been that thin for a little while. But he's sort of the dude to beat. If you could beat Alistair Overeem, you're right there. You know, and if you look at his record, he only loses to fucking killers.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Brock Lesnar, then he lost to Antonio Silva and Travis Brown. Fights that he was dominating both of them as well, by the way. Then he beat Frank Mir, lost to Ben Rothwell, then went on a 4-fight win streak, got a title shot against Stipe. No, I don't think that was that a title shot? Anyway, whatever. Then he beat Mark Hunt and Fabrizio. Then he got decapitated against Francis Ngannou, lost to Curtis Blades, and now he's on a 2-fight win streak. The point I was going to make was I was starting to think that perhaps, and again, I say this with the greatest of respect, that perhaps the end was coming on his career. And certainly when you see his fight yesterday with Oleinik went out there. Most of his wins have come via submission. And Oleinik went out there, landed a beautiful overhand right, had... Overeem kind of wobbled and in a lot of trouble, and Overeem was covering up against the fence. Oleinik was just beating him up pretty good, just pinning him up against the fence, working the body, working the head, and just dominating Overeem. Bullying him is what he was doing. He was walking forward, swinging hands, and it looked like Overeem was in trouble, and I thought, oh, shit, I don't enjoy seeing that. I like Alistair, and as I say, he's been around for so long, and I hate seeing, like, some of the... You know, the pioneers or the OGs of the fight game. I don't take pleasure from seeing them get old.
Well, you probably root for them more than anything else. You know, those are guys that... Alistair was... When you started fighting, Alistair was already a star in Japan. Or when you started fighting for the UFC, I mean, a huge star.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think that, you know, especially kickboxing background, you know, European fighter, this is somebody that, you know, I've always rooted for Alistair. He's great. He's a great... scary looking fighter. At what point, you know?
Well, I thought the problem for him was, though, I thought maybe his chin had gone because, as I said, Oleinik hit him and he didn't take it too well. But Oleinik is a big man, he's a heavyweight, and he swung like a maniac. Anyway, Overeem weathered the storm and he came back. He got a beautiful tie clinch, went back to his bread and butter. Of course, he's got a lot of submissions on his record, but his Thai boxing, or kickboxing, should I say, is what he was always known for. Got a tie clinch, landed a couple of beautiful knees. Oleinik ended up on the floor, finished it with ground and pound. Looked amazing. Good job. Excellent fight. 1 round, all action. Loved it. Great to see him winning again.
Was that the only thing that stood out on the card for you?
Yeah. If I'm honest, I mean, there were some good fights. A lot of Russian dudes on there, obviously. The fight was in Russia.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's it.
A lot of Russian dudes on there with weird names. Here's the thing, right? Before you got here, Lewis, what was I doing? I was sitting there watching fights, right?
Yeah.
You know why I'm watching fights? Because I fly to Florida on Thursday. Because I'm working the UFC Sunrise event.
We're in Florida?
In Fort Lauderdale. So I'm going to be there. Then the following week, I'll be in Ottawa. And I'll be studying fights all week, right? Because I'm commentating in Ottawa. Then the following week, I'll be in Brazil. And the week prior to that, I'll be studying fights all week, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't go to Russia. So I didn't study all the Russian fighters on the card. You know why? Because I'm not getting paid to on this event.
Also,
so yes, the only thing that stood out was fucking Alistair Overeem and Alexei Oleinik, because a lot of the fighters... whilst being very, very good fighters, were not standout. They're not mainstays. They're not stars in the public domain.
Also, I think nobody's listening to this show to hear about us talking about the undercard fights at a Russian event. That's not the show. That's more of a Kenny Florian type of.
I mean, if that's what people want, we can do that, because I do notice now and again people do give the timestamps on YouTube saying, "Oh, Fight Talk starts at 41 minutes." It's like, yeah, we are MMA centric, but we also like to just have a laugh and see where we go.
Yeah, we don't feel like talking. Look, this is an MMA themed show, but the thing that I like about this show, and I hear this from a lot of people, is that if you're not an MMA fan, you can still listen to the show and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's sort of what makes this show stand out a little bit compared to some of the other shows as well. We don't really overthink what we're going to talk about too much. We have notes and shit like that, but it's really whatever happens. And if there was a lot of MMA news, we talk strictly MMA.
Absolutely.
If there's not,
yeah, it's a little thin this week. I mean, the biggest story right now is Darren Till stealing a car. And he didn't really steal a car. Oh, he trashed a hotel room. And I don't even think he trashed a hotel room. He just had a party and maybe caused a little bit of damage. He'll be all right. It's just a storm in a teacup. It gives these would-be MMA journalists something to write about, because they need something to fucking write about.
I gotta pull up this story. This was
pull
an
it
interesting
up.
one. I didn't even read much about it.
I don't even know what this is. Where are you going?
This is okay.
What?
Let's see her name. You didn't see this?
No.
Joyce Vieira.
By the way, see, this is what happens. Lewis brings up, I've just seen a little bit of the headline now, so I know how vile this story is, right? So just know that anytime we go down this kind of avenue of smut, of sexual talk.
This is not smut. This is actually a fucking feel-good story, Mr. Bisping.
MMA fighter Joyce Vieira socks alleged masturbator.
Fuck
right?
yeah.
It's a little bit vile. It's
That's a
during
feel-good story.
sexy photo shoot.
That's a feel-good story before and after he got punched.
No, the point I'm making is, to my mother-in-law that I know listens to this, to my parents that I know listen to this, to some of my children's friends, anytime we go down this rabbit hole of smut, it's not my doing.
I'm not a role model. That's his job. I gotta be honest with you. Just shake your head. You'd be like, "Yep, it's terrible." MMA fighter Joyce Vieira.
Tell me about it.
All right.
Hold on. Who? Joyce Vieira? Who is she?
I guess she's a Brazilian MMA fighter. Says she was forced to stop a sexy beach photo shoot this month when she saw some creep rear naked choking his own chicken while watching her from the bushes. This is from TMZ Sports. Good writing.
This is TMZ Sports.
Yeah, rear naked choking his own chicken. I'm gonna have Shannon edit in the video to the video version of this. 27-year-old amateur fighter in swimsuit.
Hold on. So basically, what was she doing? She was going for a run or something, and then this guy was hiding in the bushes and pleasuring oneself.
Yeah, but she was posing for pictures with her photo crew when she noticed a guy watching her nearby. When she approached him, Joyce claims his penis was out, and he was obviously pleasuring himself. He was making noises and groaning, and then I guess he said, "Why, you don't like it? Come here," and she punched him. She filed the police report.
Oh, no. So she said, "Come here."
No, that's what he said, I believe, which he replied. She told him to cut it out. He replied, "Why, you don't like it? Come here." So she punched him. Vieira filed a police report, and when cops spoke with the alleged whack job, he claimed he was not doing the old five-knuckle shuffle, but rather innocently peeing in the bushes. They're still investigating. Yeah.
Well, he probably might have been.
What, peeing in the bushes?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He wasn't out of pee in a bush.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
punched him.
And no, but you know what I mean? There was something on the news last week where it was, some two girls were sat in a bar, and a guy was sitting in the bar, and then I think he was hitting on her, like saying some comments, and then the woman gets out of a chair and she's flailing her arms around on the CCTV footage and this and that, and then she was confronting him, and now the guy was an asshole, and I think he ended up hitting her, so he was out of control and he was a prick. But the point of the matter is, and of course I'm not condoning violence in any way, shape or form, certainly from a man against a woman, is absolutely despicable, but in this modern day and age, you can't even talk to a woman these days, it seems, without them getting on the high horse.
Yeah.
And you can't even masturbate in a bush anymore.
All I want to do
when
is
a
jerk
woman's
off
doing
in
a
a bush.
photo shoot.
I mean,
Jesus Christ. He's not hurting anybody.
If you didn't want us to masturbate in a bush, why are you taking photos on a beach? That's just my question. I'm not going to blame a victim here, but we're going to. No, obviously it's horrible. And if this is true and the guy was jerking off, yeah, good for her. She took it into her own hands. Look, that story's great.
No.
The reason I believe
there's so many puns that took it into her own hands.
That's great.
Such a whack job. You know what I mean?
I
Double
don't
entendres for days.
I don't. The reason I believe her is because for her to become so upset that she's going to punch the guy. It's not just like a he said,
But
she
that's
said
assault,
thing.
though. I mean, technically, they could say that he wasn't doing anything to hurt her.
Yeah.
And the argument that he was saying, obviously, I'm holding my penis. I'm in the bushes because I'm relieving myself. Sometimes, I mean, I don't like to pee in public. I don't want to get arrested for, what's it called?
Indecent exposure?
Indecent exposure. But sometimes, because I drink a lot of coffee in the morning and then I go for a run, and then sometimes I gotta have a pee. I remember, where was I just recently? I was down on UFC
Preschool.
business. And I was running around the city in the morning, and I swear to God, I was going to pee myself so bad. I'm like, shit, I need to piss. And I'm looking around, and there was no public restrooms in sight. So I went into this car park, and I went behind this trailer, and I just like, I'll just have a quick pee here. And I'm thinking, if the cops pull over, I was like, listen, sorry, dude, I just needed a pee so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe this guy had done that, but she's like, hold on, there's a pervert there. Then she walks up, she punches him in the face. That's assault.
So this is it. I mean, look, official stance for Michael Bisping. He's the victim, the guy.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Do you know what I mean? Poor guy is in the bushes, granted, feet away from where a woman is doing a photo shoot. He's very quiet. Taking a
Let me
pee, he's
see.
trying to not distract them. He's just being very quiet and ends up getting punched in the face. I feel for this guy.
People get mad at me sometimes because we talk about female fighters every once in a while, and then these female fighters, they take sexy photos, they get their breasts enhanced, they're doing fucking all sexy dances on Instagram. Do they not want attention? Is that not what's going on right now? Do they not want to get attention? I'm not saying this is not just to women. If there's a dude who has fucking rock hard abs and he takes a fucking downward shot and he's making a kissy face at the fucking camera, does he not want attention? It's the same exact shit.
I'd say he wants a slap. Is what he wants.
slap.
He wants a slap. But you're right. Well, you know, I mean, this day and age, you can't go around objectifying women. But the funny thing is that
But they're objectifying themselves by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, is that her there?
Yeah, that's
I mean, she's very suggestive there. She's putting some pictures on. She's
And
playing
I'm
with
not
her
saying
hair.
that's a bad thing.
No, it's great. Good for her.
I love it.
You know, she wants to express herself and this and that. That's fantastic. But if a man wants to leave a comment that was sexual, that would be bad. But then you see women going, oh my God, slay girl. That from a woman to a woman, it's okay. From a man to a woman, it's not.
Oh, I watched a thing with Harry Styles, who's a British fucking. You probably know who he is.
We're
right?
like that.
I know you are. One Direction guy, right?
One Direction,
There's a video
yeah.
that just came out today. I was watching it with Kim. She's watching on Instagram, and he's just singing a song, and in the middle of it, he just goes like this. He smiles. He's like, and then 400 girls in the
Hold
crowd.
on, what's wrong with that?
400 girls in the crowd. As soon as he just gives a little smirk, they just the loudest shriek, like, "Ah!" You're like, have some respect for yourself, ladies.
Yeah.
I mean, guys are pigs, but I would never, if a woman just fucking give a little sexy smile, I'm not going to shriek like, oh my fucking God. And are you not objectifying that guy in that moment? Like, isn't it the same thing? I don't have an issue with objectifying people. The reason that anybody gets dressed up, the reason that we, if I go to a wedding and I put on a nice suit and I want to get it fitted and I want to go to a tailor and we're, it's because you want to look as fuckable as possible in whatever way you want.
No. Sometimes you want to put your best foot forward. You want to look respectable. You want to pay respects to where you're going. You want to see that you've made an effort. I want to go with my wife. I'm going to a wedding. We want to look nice. We want to represent ourselves, represent the Bisping
As an
family.
object, though.
To us, no, not as an object. As a nice, respectable person that's been successful in life. That I want to go and look the part and look good. Me and my wife, we go there and pay respects to them. So therefore, we're willing to get dressed up nice. We're going to put a suit on. We're going to do our hair because this is a special event. This is a special occasion, as opposed to showing up in a pair of shitty jeans and a dirty t-shirt. I'll be like, dude,
oh, really?
it's my wedding, man.
It's a podcast.
But it's my wedding. Could you not make an effort?
Yeah.
Could you not? If you were at my wedding,
But
Lewis,
when
I'd expect you in a suit.
Well, I wouldn't go to that place. That was a fucking garbage wedding place. If you had a nicer reception, maybe
That
I'd
was
show
a
up.
beautiful wedding. Do not criticize. Okay, Jesus.
No, but when you get dressed up and you look in the mirror and you're feeling like you're looking your best, aren't you saying inside, I hope everyone that passes me wants to fuck me tonight? Not that you're going to or that you would, but in other words, aren't you trying to look as appealing as possible?
I want to look good for me.
That's the gayest thing you've ever said on the show. Literally.
I do. Because no. When you dress well, you feel way more confident.
Yeah.
If I'm dressed good and I look good and I've good, you look presentable, you feel better and you feel more confident and you handle yourself better in certain situations. I do. If I show up in a certain environment and I'm looking terrible and my clothes are dirty and I just look a mess, then I'm gonna keep my mouth shut a little bit. I'm not going to get in the thick of it. I'm not going to put myself up there at the front and go, guys, I want to talk to you. Hold on a minute. I've got an idea. What about this? What about that? What about the other? I'd be like, nah, it really isn't my day to be trying to steal anybody's thunder. I'm just going to sit at the back and wait till I can go home and get changed.
But I'm looking at more, I'm sort of going to break it down on it's almost like basic animalistic level.
Back to the sex again.
You're right, but you're right. Technically, you're like, yeah, you want to put your best foot forward. But just really step it back a little bit even more. When you look good and you look attractive, there's a sexual thing there. It's about, whatever it is. It's an animalistic thing. We are designed to want to fuck each other. We're just designed. We have to fight that instinct. When you're at work and there's a hot chick wearing a short skirt, you have to fight the instinct to not stare at her ass at work because you're going to get fired or be accused of harassing her. But that is going against the instinct. You want to look at her ass. You want to make a comment. That's anybody, and that's a guy or a girl. Women do the same shit, but women aren't held to the same standard.
No, but people get out of bed every day, women in particular, they do a full face of makeup. And it's not always a sexual thing, Lewis. It really isn't. Like my wife gets out of bed every day, gets ready. It takes her a while.
You should see the way she looks at me.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I'm like, what is going on when I'm out of town? But no, and it's got nothing to do with that. It's just a case of looking good, feeling good, having respect for yourself, Lewis.
Yeah.
Have some respect for yourself.
You're
That's
right.
what I want to see.
I don't have enough respect for myself. Yeah, I mean, look, we could agree to disagree. I just think it's more
this
animalistic.
Really got nothing to do with MMA, this episode.
No, the point is, Al's are over him, that bod.
Oh!
No, I get a lot of shit because we bring up women on the show sometimes, and this chick in particular, she's taking, ass photos on the beach.
That's what everybody does on Instagram, though.
Yeah.
Women, I don't. I've never done an ass shot in my life.
Look at that. Good for her. Nice bod.
Where's she fight?
I don't know, something or other.
Yeah,
Who
she's
cares?
not UFC. She
No.
might be soon. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with commenting on a female's appearance, especially if she's going out of her way to make herself.
No, for sure. It's like, Karen Bryant that I work with, I've had this conversation with her a few times. When I worked at the Fox Studios, we were told, when this modern era of Time's Up and Me Too and all the rest of it, we were told, you're not allowed now to say that that's a nice dress to a woman, right? And I'm married, but she's married. There's nothing like that at all. But
You're like, Karen, shitty dress.
yeah,
Looks like garbage. Ugh.
sometimes she's walking and
to the
like
gym.
she's wearing something really smart, and I like it. So I'd say, hey, Karen, that's a nice dress. Nothing sexual at all, like that at all. I'm actually being nice. Say, I like that dress, Karen. That's cool. Nothing like that at all. But now you can't say
Really
that.
making your titties pop, Karen. Love it.
Yeah. Now you can't say stuff like that because it could be misconstrued as being inappropriate, which is bullshit. It's just called being nice.
It's just the rules, and this is the society that everybody lives in.
It's crazy.
You're used to being a fighter who your rules are just a little bit different. Like you work for yourself, you're an independent contractor. Now that MMA has become mainstream, it's a way different thing, but sort of the foundation that you are built off of is like, I don't really have a boss. I fight in a cage for a living. The rules are a little bit different than me for a guy who works in a bank. And the same thing as a comedian.
Yeah, sure,
the rules are just way different. I live in a different world. And as soon as you start taking those corporate jobs, that's what you sign up for. So you can't even complain about it being unfair because that's the game you're in. If I'm in the supermarket, I can't make the same type of joke that I'm going to make on this podcast. I can't make the same type of joke that I make on this podcast that I make on Legion of Skanks because it's not the same format. So it's like
you can make any joke you want, Lewis. I don't care.
You just slowly slide the chair away.
Not me. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's wrap that one up. So what else is going on in the world?
We
that
have
we
some
need
questions.
to talk about? We got some questions.
Let's see. Is there anything else? Harrington sent notes. Let me see what else
Let's
he
have a
sent.
look. Rebecca, what should we talk about? Let's see what Rebecca's got to say. You want to jump on, babe? We've got a third microphone. Oh, she's good. She's
None
good.
of your family
what do we
wants
want
to be on our
talk about?
podcast.
What shall we talk about?
Well, this is
Anything?
the thing that
No.
Harrington sent, the last note, which was Romero,
Harrington. Romero now out of fight with Jacare and Fort Lauderdale card. The Brazilian will now face Jack Hermanson. That is not new news.
It's news.
It's not new news.
Oh, it's not new news.
New news. It's not new news. It is not new news. It is not a tumor, right? It's not. I'm telling you. That I've known about that for weeks. I'm working that card. I've been researching that card. That is not new news. That did not just break, okay? That's been on the cards for fucking weeks.
Let's
and he
go.
sends us that today to break down as if it's fucking news.
He's not good at his job. Let's go. What's on Reddit right now? Okay, the top story besides Darren Till.
Oh, babe, no. Who's that for? Kim. Okay. I don't drink alcohol.
It's her vibrator. That's what he was talking about.
She's
Bring your vibrator to Kim right now. It's pretty hot, guys.
Go on. Subjects. Who's this? No. Okay.
Yeah, it all sticks. It's fine.
Leo Jordan, Dragon Machida, KO's Mark Munoz. This is just like forums.
It's a slow news week. We could just do some questions.
It really is. Let's do some questions.
And we're going to do another...
we're going to be in person again Tuesday in studio together. I'm working on a guest, Lewis, for us.
Who's in LA that we can get?
I messaged Theo Vaughn.
I love Theo.
Theo, get back to me.
Piece of shit. I'm doing his podcast in June, actually.
Theo Vaughn.
Piece of shit. You want to fucking come at us, doggy? We will fucking destroy you, Theo Vaughn.
We can get tons of people. We've got so many people. No, we have got lots of people we can get in LA. So we'll get someone for Tuesday, someone good.
Yeah, let's get a fun fight. Who's a good fighter that lives in LA that would be a fun hang?
There's a lot. I'd like to get Jason Perillo one, but we're up in LA. I know, but we're going to be in LA now. So it's like, hey, Jay, you want to come do the podcast? But you're going to drive all the way up to Los Angeles.
Where does he live?
He lives in Orange County.
We should have had him today.
I know. Yeah.
Easter Sunday. That would have been the day.
It's the God's day of rest.
I'm sorry.
Number one, it's Sunday.
Jesus is here with us.
It's Easter Sunday, okay? Have a bit of respect.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's not just about Easter eggs. It's not about holidays. It's not about days off work. It's about paying the respect for our Lord Jesus Christ that died on the cross for our sins.
All right. Let's do it. Let's get some questions going. If you guys want to join the conversation, a couple things. Let me plug a few things.
Please.
Numero uno, go to our iTunes if you're on Apple. Leave us a 5-star ranking, a positive review. That enables people to find the show in a very big way. So make sure you guys go and do that. We really appreciate that. Also, YouTube page, popping like a motherfucker. Over 40,000 subscribers. We want to be up to 50,000 subscribers by June.
We will.
Go right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel, get the notifications as soon as the new episodes come out. I promise you we're going to be more consistent with the schedule. I know we've had some issues. Both of us super busy, but very committed to making sure that we get you guys these shows. So even if they don't come out the same time every week, just trust me, we are committed to making sure that they come out. Also, every episode we've ever done is available on demand at your fingertips with pre-release, uncensored, and ad-free at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM for a 14-day free trial. See if you enjoy the premium service. If you keep it, it's just $7 a month. You get access to this show plus 20 other amazing podcasts on the network. And then last but not least, if you guys want to join the conversation and send us your questions, whether they're video questions, audio questions, or whatever, shoot us an email at bympod@gmail.com. We always pick the best few questions every week. And that's that.
And question number one
is...
we do appreciate the questions, by the way, so keep them coming in. We do like the video questions, but we're here in person together, not in a studio. You may be able to see.
Let's see.
All right, Lewis, go ahead.
All right, first and foremost, this is from Oscar. First and foremost,
What's
I want
up,
to
Oscar?
send a huge thanks for the show's Gas Digital offers. I've listened to BYM since day one. It kills time for me during my travels around the U.S. I still have the hilarious Drunken Bisping podcast that was deleted. Such a classic.
I was filming MacGyver. And I didn't have work for a few days. I had a few beers, and then I thought I'm going to do a podcast, and then I brought some beers up to the room. I don't know. They just all kind of went to my head. Okay, I was a little bit drunk, a little bit tipsy. Anyway, continue.
All right, I have two questions for Bisping and one for Lewis Bisping. Number one, a few years ago in Vegas, a close friend of mine was fighting in one of those local MMA shows. I won't say the name of the event. I'm not trying to give him a plug. My buddy asked you for an autograph, and you quickly replied. That was awesome, by the way. I want everyone to notice Michael Bisping dropping her cup.
Very clumsy.
My buddy asked you for an autograph, and you quickly replied, "Fuck off, bitch," and stormed off. Does that ring a bell? If so, great, because he should not be bothering a celebrity such as yourself in Vegas whilst out and about.
Wow. This is what you people don't realize. He pretends that he's a man of the people, but when asked for an autograph, you say, "Fuck off, bitch."
Me?
Yeah.
No, this is you.
This is me?
This is you, you psycho.
Oh, hold on a minute. What do you mean?
It's you.
A few years ago in Vegas, close friend of mine was fine. Buddy, asked for an autograph, quickly ran the fuck off, bitch, stormed off. Does that ring a bell? If so, great. No, it
So
doesn't.
Bisping says he's a man of the people, says he's approachable, says he's one of you, a blue collar, just fucking Brit. But then somebody asked for an autograph in Vegas.
Well, I'll tell you this. That's not how I talk. I never say "fuck off, bitch." That's not in my vocabulary. That's not how I talk. So
say "fuck off, mate."
I say, "Oh, do me a favor, fuck off."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, mate. Sorry, pal. I wouldn't say, "Hey, bitch." I'm not American. I don't really use that word too often.
Can I defend you on this? Because there's got to be more to that story.
So yeah.
I've watched you interact with fans a million times. So there's two things. Number one, it's probably late night Vegas. You're probably hammered, which is hilarious.
Two, if I did say those words,
Probably kidding.
I'd have said it. Oh, sorry, mate. Fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
I don't-
Sorry, pal. Meaning no, but having a laugh, trying to give you a little cheeky interaction, trying to give you a story to tell. Do it with a smile. We'll all have a laugh. We'll have fun here. But it's late. I'm in Vegas. I'm not doing pictures. You know what I mean?
I've watched you literally interact with fans 1,000 times, and you don't even get annoyed by it. You just, if you don't have time, you don't have time. But that guy, here's the thing. This is what happens. Everybody wants to have a cool story. Everybody wants to have like their version. So his version of the story is Michael Bisping told him to fuck off one night, and it's a very. Whereas your version of the story is just you were just throwing away a line with a fan and fucking
My version
around.
of the story is I don't actually recall it.
It never happened.
Yeah,
this guy's a liar. This guy is a rapist.
If you're going to send stories in or questions, please have them factual. What's his next question, though? What's the question for you?
We played Fortnite a while back, and it was super fucking cool that you actually gamed with us fans. You might remember me, Ozark Rage. I do. We got a dub in squads with just two of us.
Do you really remember Ozark Rage?
I swear to God I do.
Ozark Rage.
I don't play with that many people.
He sounds...
I'm a man of the people. I remember the fans. What am I supposed to say?
Ozark Rage is his username.
Yeah. We got a dub in squads with just the two of us. We stayed close to the storm and got about 6 kills for the dub. Anyhow, this is a little gay.
Listen, I'm going to ban Fortnite talk from here on out going forward. We can't have this. If you want to play Fortnite, great. That's on your own time, right? We don't need to poison the ears of everybody listening. If you want to engage in juvenile activity, if you want to play video games with your little hoodlums, with your little earpieces on, and feel like you're in the army, feel like you're a commando, respawn, let's go. Ooh, Ozark Rage, I'll meet you online in 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm gay as well, then yeah, go for it. Do you know what I mean? But we don't want to talk about it on here.
Fine, no more. Fine. Anyhow, my question is, did you and Bisping ever do that sparring session? If so, tell us how you beat the shit out of him. Thanks for the podcast, fellas. Not sure what I would be listening to if I didn't stumble across the show. Thank you very much. Thank
you, Ozark Rage. We appreciate the question.
Yeah, we never sparred. We fucked around a little bit before.
Yeah, we messed around a little bit.
The fight that I did for Alice Mania, and I spoke about this extensively.
We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This don't fuck with Bisping. Just don't.
Just
don't cross. It's a nightmare. I mean, I'm not afraid of him. He's a real bitch in my mind. But
see what I mean?
See the way he just moved? He was very
I
weak.
did.
No
Look at
core
that. I'm
strength.
very malleable.
The Peloton bike doesn't give you core strength. That's the problem.
Are you unplugged, Lewis?
No, I'm good. My headphones
All
just came out for a
do
second.
we actually have a proper question as
do.
opposed to somebody giving us a bullshit story that happened in
not
Vegas? And basically, all they wanted to do was big themselves up that they play Fortnite with you. That's all that was. There wasn't a question in there. There was lies, and there was a, hey, I play Fortnite with Lewis, and Lewis wanted to get his name tag out there, I'm assuming. Do we have a question?
Let's see. I didn't. Harrington was supposed to go through these, and so we'll see. This one's from Dustin. He says, so Jones has never been a huge draw. He's been a tier.
John Jones?
Yeah, under the big three. But now with his reinstatement and vow to stay active, it seems his pay-per-view numbers are dropping. I don't know if that's true, but now I'm a massive fan of Jones, personal life notwithstanding. Will we not see a talent of his caliber for a long, long time? We will not see a talent of his caliber for a long, long time, but it seems that he's becoming the Mighty Mouse of the light heavyweight division just due to the gap between him and his opponents. If you were Jones or his team, would you try to bring back the nastiness and ferocity of Jones pre-Gus, or just continue to dominate in a fashion that many casuals will lose interest in very quickly? I don't agree with anything this guy just said, by the way.
That's the worst question I've ever heard in my life.
It's terrible.
It was very, very long-winded. You read it all. There was some real something worth hearing. I'm sorry. Whoever sent that question in, I'm refusing to accept it. I'm refusing to answer it. I'm refusing to talk about it. John Jones is a big draw. He's one of the biggest draws in the sport, but that long-winded question, you want to ask questions like that, go to MMA.tv and go to the underground. And on there, a bunch of little nerds can all discuss that type of stuff. If you've got a good question for us that we can talk about, something to do with life, something about MMA, something that's good, not bloody just hypothesizing and basically talking shit about one of the greatest of all time.
Well,
okay, I'm not prepared to do that, Lewis.
I'm not going to shit on Jones either. I mean, look, his pay-per-view numbers are decent. They're not McGregor, Rousey, Brock, who nobody is those guys. You're talking about very much standouts, right? But John Jones well above the average headliner.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well,
also,
his last fight against Gustafsson, I think, did like 800,000 buys. That's very, very high.
The idea that Jones is going the way of Mighty Mouse. No, Mighty Mouse never really had competition. That was the problem. Is there wasn't enough of a story built in that division to really give Mighty Mouse that like real push, like, oh my God. So it was just sort of an afterthought how good Mighty Mouse actually was. That division, the light heavyweight division, is so fucking storied. You understand? When I became a fan of MMA, like a real fan, a hardcore fan, that's when Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, they were having their feud. Tito was right there. That was what made the MMA. That was light heavyweight division was what made.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when Michael Bisping joined in the Ultimate Fighter, that was it. That's when I started orgasming every time I started watching the TV. Yeah. So we're talking about the biggest division in the history of the sport at the time, who Jones then came and cleaned out completely. It's not the same thing. And to be honest with you, I agree that Jones isn't necessarily where McGregor's at. And I've said this before on the show. If Jones moved to heavyweight and dominated the way he does, I think that's what would push John Jones over the edge. And it would turn him into, he could sort of reinvent himself. He can maybe shake the steroid thing a little bit. Just becoming that, forever heavyweight boxers, heavyweight fighters. When you say pound for pound, that's what we're talking about. It's the biggest, baddest dude on the planet. I think John Jones, honestly, is talented enough to go and win the heavyweight title. He really is.
I agree with everything you just said. There's no conversation here. Everything you said is fact. Everybody knows John Jones is one of the best in the world. The only person to beat Daniel Cormier is John Jones, and he did it twice. Okay? Anyone out there that's hating on him, they can hate on his antics. They can hate on the picograms. They can, because that's a valid point. But in terms of his performances inside the octagon, you can't hate on that. And you can't hate on his pay-per-view numbers either, because his pay-per-view numbers have generally been very, very good. I think going forward, though, the climate is very, very different. Now with ESPN, they've bought the pay-per-view buys. I saw somebody talking about it online the other day, saying apparently, ESPN now are guaranteeing UFC 500,000 buys per event. I think Brendan Schaub was talking about this. I don't know where he got that, but if that's true, then that's a fantastic deal for the UFC, and it kind of takes the pressure off all the fighters anyway. Yeah. Because now if UFC, if that is true, Brendan Schaub was talking about it at length, hating on the UFC and hating on Dana, as he always does. But them two have got a highly contentious relationship, so right. I guess that's just the dynamic. But that's what he was saying. I don't know if that is true, but that's what Schaub was saying. And if that is the fact, then yeah, that's going to take the pressure off the fighters, because now ESPN are paying 500,000 buys for every event. Jesus Christ, that's a great number for every single event.
Well, now you have the UFC, who's been this marketing machine, brilliant marketing machine for a very, very long time. I have so much respect for what the UFC has done in terms of building a brand from something that was considered barbaric 20 years. 20 years ago, it was literally considered one of the most barbaric things you could ever do, and it was illegal in almost every state. And they built a real brand. Now they come and they tag team the marketing and respect of ESPN. And I think that's what ESPN is sort of banking on. They're going like, well, you know what? The UFC's done a great job. Well, now let's come together and legitimately build this brand together. We are the most respected sports entity in the world. I think it's a good deal for everybody involved. I think it's going to be good for the fighters overall. I think it's great, obviously, for the UFC. But I think ESPN is banking on the fact that they see what the UFC has done by themselves with really no major marketing partners. I think they can go and bring it to the next level and make it bigger than boxing. And I think that's sort of the angle there. I think they're banking on the fact that they can do over 1 million pay-per-view buys every single time they do a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was listening to what you said, but my mind did drift a little bit to Amir Khan, the boxer.
Right.
So as I said, I was hanging on your every word.
Right.
But last night, and perhaps this is, I mean, because I feel like right now we're just filling airtime for the sake of filling airtime.
Not at all. I was making one of the best points ever. I just shits on the great points that I'm
really
making.
do feel, I like, we've had this conversation a million times.
Do you want to know the next question? You don't.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Read a couple words of it.
The fucking questions were terrible.
Read just the title of it. We got to fill some time.
What?
That's what Harrington sends us.
Yes. All right, I'm going to read this out, okay? Because good, at least there's some entertainment. Because
right,
no offense, you know. You're never going to work for the UFC, right? Hey, guys, I just want to say, UFC, if you're hiring, you're the best thing ever. Blah, 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 blah.
I know I'm never going to work for the UFC. Do you think that's my angle here?
I'm joking.
I met with Fox when the UFC first got the deal. They brought me in. I had a suit on. I felt like an asshole. I literally walked out. I fired my manager after that meeting.
Where was this at?
This is West Side Highway.
What do you mean, West?
In New York City. We met for Fox with the head.
Oh, you did?
The head trying to get me in there as like a fucking analyst type guy. Ugh. I hate
really
it.
bad. Anyway, here's
bad.
what Harrington sends. Forward oil checking butt plug question for Bisping's podcast. Okay. All right. So immediately alarm bells. Question for Bisping. Have you ever been oil checked in practice? Wink, wink. If so, how did it make you feel? Did the other guy or gal? Oh, God. And it just gets lewder and cruder from here. No, I haven't been oil checked in wrestling, and we don't want to talk about that. Amir Khan fought last night.
What does oil check mean?
It means if somebody's in the turtle position, which you know what that is, it means they're on all fours. They're on the knees with the forearms on the floor, and then you can get your forearm between the legs and kind of drive them forward. Oil checking means basically sticking your thumb in their ass, and that's what they refer to by an oil check.
Okay, did not know that was a thing that was happening in fighting. I know that's what happens if your dog attacks like another dog. You're supposed to put your finger in his ass.
Really?
Yeah, because that makes him let go. So, you know.
How many times have you stuck your thumb in your dog's ass?
That's just how
I've got a story that reminds me of a story.
Oh boy!
I took the dog. See, this will be. I'm walking through Clitheroe Town Centre. We had this dog, Sam. We rescued him. He had a lot of issues. Sam was a fucking psychopath. Let's just leave it at that. He would attack everything. But he's like, it's my dog. He's loyal. I rescued him.
He's been oil checked one too many times.
Yeah, once or twice. No, so we just had a baby. I forget which one it was. Maybe Callum. Probably Ellie. Ellie had just been born. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day. I said, let's go for a walk through the town centre with the new baby. Okay, so we go through a walk through the town centre, and I want to bring Sam. And Rebecca's like, don't bring Sam. Every time we bring Sam, there's always a nightmare. I'm like, listen, we're walking. It's a sunny day. We're going to walk. We're going to take the dog. He's part of the family. That's what you do. She's like, okay. So we're walking through the town centre, and we had a choker chain on him, and we're standing there, and we see somebody, and they're looking at the baby, and they're like, oh, God, he's beautiful, and da-da-da-da, what did he weigh? All those type of generic questions that people ask when they see a baby. As we're talking, Sam, the little shit, because there's like loose chain, he backs up, he gets out of the chain.
Yeah, he does.
And then boom, sprints off. And then I look, and in the distance, we talked about this, the pelican crossing, the zebra crossing, the crosswalk for Americans. There's a guy walking across the crosswalk with a German Shepherd in the distance, and Sam attacks dogs, and he's galloping through the town centre like a fucking madman.
Sam's just a mutt.
Yeah, he's just a mutt.
It's a German Shepherd. It's a big dog.
Yeah, but he was.
I wonder who's going to win this fight now.
He was like a pit bull cross with a Labrador or something.
Right.
So he wasn't a small
dog,
but he was topped. He was a psycho. Lovely dog though. So I'm like, shit, because I know where this is going to end. I know where this is going to end. Okay, it's going to end with that German Shepherd getting nailed.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't mean like sexy time nailed. So he's running after it. So I start sprinting. Full sprint down the street. Sunny day in Clitheroe. Isn't many of them. Town centre's packed. I'm screaming top of my voice, Sam! 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 No! Anyway, sure enough, here's what happens. Boof! He nails the German Shepherd. We've frozen up on that.
I don't know what's going on with that,
I
but
don't know either.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. He nails the German Shepherd. Boom! High speed. He's nailing the dog on the ground. I'm like, holy shit. I run up. I grab Sam, I rip him off. Sam's trying to get at the German Shepherd.
Keep on going. I'm just going to stop that just so I
Stop
don't want
it
to.
and
I don't
then
want to
record
lose
it, maybe.
No, we're
All right, yeah.
recording this. We're good.
So Sam's attacking the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd's not fighting back, by the way. So I rip Sam off the other dog, right? And he's trying to get it. I get him on the lead. I'm like, oh, shit. Anyway, this is where the story gets really good. The guy that owned the German Shepherd, bless him, was mentally handicapped.
Oh, no.
I know. And the German Shepherd was his best friend in the whole world.
No.
And the German Shepherd was really badly injured. And the back of like the dog's ass, that's where Sam had like sunk his teeth in. And it was laid on the floor and it was and he was like kind of hurt. And that the mentally handicapped guy lies on the floor with the dog and he's cuddling it. And I'm standing there looking like the biggest piece of shit ever. And I mean the biggest piece of shit. And then a huge crowd starts forming and all these old ladies come out of the banks and everything. They're all standing there and like the mentally handicapped guy's led on the floor with his dog on the crosswalk, hugging his dog, going, it's going to be okay. And there's a cut by the ass, right? So he sticks his thumb into the cut to stop the bleeding, but he looks like he's got his thumb up the dog's ass, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, take your thumb out of the dog's ass, get up. There's a vet's about 200 yards down the street. I know Clitheroe, it's a small town. About 200 yards that way, there's a vet's. Let's take him down there. We'll get him stitched up. I'll pay for it all. Anything I can do. And everybody's looking at me like I'm fucking scum. They're all touching and shaking their head and going, oh yeah, Bisping, mighty on. He's a psycho anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, of all bloody people, the guy had to have mental problems. I'm very, very sorry if you knew that guy. But
so what happened at the end of all of it?
Oh, the posh ladies turned up with the Range Rover, right? Got the Range Rover. They all picked up the dog, put it in the back of a Range Rover and drove off and left me stood in the middle of the town centre with the dog frothing at the mouth. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm some kind of psycho. No, I walked to the vets. Yeah. As I say, it was only about 200-300 yards. So I walked down there. I went in. I paid for it. You know, I apologised profusely, of course. And no harm done. It's just a little dog thing. Little cut on his
asshole.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He got oil checked. It is what it is.
It's a great show.
Yeah, that's
As always.
Tuesday, we'll be back.
We will.
With
Can
a
I tell you
guest.
something that's going to bum you out?
Oh, tell me.
I don't think the video recorded.
At all?
I'm looking at the corner right there, and it doesn't have any no numbers. It's just dashes.
So for everybody
It's
listening,
a white screen.
you are a fucking... Are we recording now?
We're recording the audio, yeah, for sure.
No, but is this recording now?
No, video, no.
Yeah, I know, but hold on.
I don't think it's
yeah, so get ready for the beeps. Yeah, see, now we're recording because now the time is
it
going.
was recording. No, it was recording before. It stopped recording. We were at an hour and a half, but I think I'm out of space.
This is not Harrington's fault. This is your fault.
This is my fault. See, I'm out of space. See?
No disk space.
We're all right.
We'll be back Tuesday, guys.
Damn it, I'm really annoyed because I drank from your coffee and I wanted everyone to see that.
Yeah, but I didn't drink any beer.
Allegedly.
Guys,
Maybe.
back Tuesday. See you then. Tune in. Thanks, guys.